could have the unmitigated gall to stand in front of the elected officials and the community and lie. They don't deserve to have their positions, and anything they say or do should be discounted 100%. Thank you.
My understanding is that, and I've spoken to the police as well, is that they have concerns about the safety of that property, and that there's, based on the nature of the property, based on the very unique circumstances to it, it's hard to see people who are on the property, and that the police had some concern.
I suggest we call it Central Park for the same reason.
Yes.
And then Prospect Park, and Owl's Head Park, and every other park in the state of New York for the same reason. That's a foolishness. And I don't believe that you believe that that's a reason. I don't believe that you believe it. You wouldn't tell your own children that.
The issue that was raised was whether the housing authority, why they had expressed what they did. It's my understanding that they had been advised that there are legal and liability issues, and one of them is safety. And that is a legitimate issue from any perspective, and in fact it's our responsibility to always think about that. How to deal with that always remains to be seen. One of the things we're looking at is what do we do to discern whether or not this can be used in a different way than it is today. Right now it's not public land, it's not our land.
John,
For over 50 years, there's been no concern. For over 50 years, there's been no concern from the police or anybody else. All of a sudden, before your project was squashed,
That's just not accurate. That's just not accurate.
all the project was squashed, it becomes an issue of safety now. 50 years was no problem. Why now?
I just don't believe that's accurate.
John, excuse me. Safety and crime are not the same issue. Crime is crime. Safety refers to the disrepair of that park. Safety refers to that fence which is dilapidated. That's a safety issue. But it's not a crime issue. And what this authority stated at the meeting 2 months ago, they said crime. They didn't say they had severe safety issues.
I don't know the exact language that they use.
Well, I'm telling you, John. Except what I'm telling you. Because I don't lie.
I'm not saying that you do, but I don't remember their exact.
I remember. Because, as I said, it bothers me.
Okay.
They said crime was a problem. And the police will tell you crime is not a problem there.
Ron DeMeo was with us last week, the deputy chief of the up in the front. He was very clear that in its current condition, I'm not talking about anything past, that in its current condition, he does not want that property open. But he talked to Lynette. He was very clear. If it gets cleaned up, if it can get to the point where they can get ambulances and emergency personnel up there, that's a different issue. But in its current condition, he was very clear that he does not think it should be open as a matter of safety.
It's in that kind of condition because you guys fenced it off.
Sure.
Well, housing authority fenced it off illegally without their permit, fenced it off, so we can't get up there and do what we used to do. We used to take care of that property with the help of the town. They used to give us the dumpsters and whatever else we needed. So the reason for it being like that, housing authority dropped the ball. They weren't maintaining the property that was there before they turned it over to J.P. Chase, whoever, or anybody else.
Now, we can't go back. The issue or the question is how do we get this resolved and move
Take the bed down so we can clean it up.
Just sit down.
The
Don't shake your head. No, you came here.
Just taking your head down doesn't accomplish it. Wait. If there's a group of people that want to clean it up and Farmer Homes wants to let them, there's a way I would get in and let the people in clean it up. That's something different than taking it down and then.
So let's get the housing
That's
authority.
not my decision.
Let's get the housing
So it is your decision. At the end of the day, Fred, you have the authority to make them do what they're supposed to do.
No, we don't.
You appointed the 5, you hired the 2 were elected, or however it's put down. I elected them?
The tenants elect two of them.
Yeah? But you appointed 5 of them, so 5 takes over 2. So therefore, you have the authority, you have the power to say, you know what? Do what's right by the people. We voted for you, we voted for you, the tenants voted for him, so do what's right by the tenants and take care of us. You take care of everywhere else in Port Washington. This has got to
We
stop.
can't tell them what to do.
Let's speed up the process. Let's ask the executive inspector right now? Is he willing to take down the fence?
He's here.
And let the residents of Port Washington clean it up? Give him 3 months to show
Let me
them
make it
clean
clear.
it.
The approach right now is what we've agreed, and we think is an appropriate thing to do, is to really open up the dialogue and try to find out, how do we get onto the same page with the community and those who want us to do something here, and want the housing authority to do something, and want the LLP to do something. How do we get to a viable solution? And so the first step was to have a meeting here today. We said we have a meeting on site over here, and let's hear what people are thinking about, and what people are saying. There's no, Sean Rainey is the director here. There's a board that he answers to. The goal was to have him here and have us here to start this process. At the end of the day, it seems to me, what really needs to happen is there needs to be a legal analysis of the property so that we can have a full understanding of what rights and obligations exist on this property. There needs to be an assessment of the property to figure out what the costs are and what the liabilities are in terms of cost. Because if there is an opportunity to purchase or acquire through acquisition or whatever it is, we need to have an analysis of what this property is going to cost and what the value is. The third issue is an engineering analysis to determine what it takes to clean it up, what are the structural issues there, and how do you get access for public safety and emergency vehicles and other types of things. If you talk about the town, the town doing a park, or we built other parks, we're concerned about other parks. Yeah, we understand how parks work, and there's a reason why it takes a long time to get a park back in play or in play, because there are a lot of issues that we have obligations to pursue, and we do them. And we do them the way that we always do them. You find that you get the legal analysis, you get the engineering analysis, you get the financial analysis, and then you have the community input. And you're trying to get to a point where maybe this costs too much, so maybe we could do it a little differently. Maybe we don't need this part of it. Maybe we could do this. And that's the process that we should pursue. And so the first step here is if that's something that people in this room and others are saying that, let's find out the information so that so we can then take the proper steps that the community wants us to do. We need to do that.
Well, you did that in 2005 in the shared vision.
The shared vision analysis was about having community input, and we did get some community input, and people want more open space, they want parks, and so there's no doubt that there's a strong community support for additional open space, and this can constitute open space. There's strong community support for improving parks, and this if it was acquired by a public entity and made a park, it would be made a park. So I don't think that's in doubt. I mean, there's no doubt that there is within Port Washington Peninsula philosophical, right, of course, philosophical appreciation that this could be open and this could be a park.
Nothing would ever done.
Well, there's a million things that people have suggested. By the way, they wanted a parking garage in the vision. Well, the parking garage didn't go over so well. So, when the devil's in the details, when you get to the cost and you get to the specifics and try to move a project forward, it starts reformulating into what people could actually accept. And so we were moving on a lot of different fronts. And this just came to the fore, a few months ago or a year ago when the whole talk of housing authority got stuck with it.
You knew about the open space.
We always knew that, but it's not town property. But it's not town. I don't have any other plan for it. It's not town property.
Whose property is more than?
Right. So
Let's ask them to buy it from them.
that's what we're talking about. There might be an opportunity, but you got to find out what it takes to buy it, what it takes to fix it, what it takes to, with the legal analysis.
I have a question for you. As far as the cost, I know the More Beautiful Port Washington said that they would pay for the cost. But is it the cost to clean it up, or is it the cost to restore it? What is it that, what cost are we talking about? Both? Both. Okay, so More Beautiful Port.
I don't think from what
That's what Mr. Blumenfeld told us.
I don't know, Mr. Blumenfeld, is the residents going to pay for the cost of?
That's what he said. He said he had the money. Okay. More Beautiful Port Washington is going to pay for the cost of what?
I'm only chairman emeritus of Residents for More Beautiful Port Washington. I now am a member of the Port Washington Parks Conservancy, a 501c3, and the supervisor and the councilman have helped us. We're building the new park. As you know, you helped us build the new sidewalk, and as I speak today, we are doing that. I have worked with the town government since Judge Meade, a beautiful Republican guy that I love, That goes back 40 years now. And I've worked with these two gentlemen, or all three of them. I didn't work with him, but I worked for the other two guys when I was a town official. I have great faith that they're smart political people. They know how to, let me finish, they know how to get reelected, they know how to listen to the community, and they've listened many, many times, and they've responded in a very responsible manner. I think they're listening carefully to what all of you are saying, the kids, the older people, the need for this park. And it's a complicated issue. The 501c3 that I belong to is willing to help raise money. We're a not-for-profit, so if the group wants to use that as a not-for-profit, we would help do that. I believe some of our other state officials could help. We just raised, the people up there know, we just raised over $1 million to rebuild a 5-acre park on Carlton Avenue. Right. And I'm delighted that these guys helped me. And the congressman helped us. And the state assemblyman helped us.
Okay.
And the state senator. I think, again, these guys know what they're listening to. And they're good politicians, they're good statesmen. I think they'll do the right thing before November. And I would give them a chance to do it, to work with the other state officials, to do the necessary things to give us back our Alvin Peters Park. I knew Alvin Peters. I knew him well, and I loved the man. And he died too early. Died of brain cancer. And it hurt me.